Wow, YouTube is so much far more superior than Facebook. Of course, this is what I'm seeing. You could be seeing something different. Hell, you're not seeing anything. You're not even here yet. I'd like to play music. I really would. But then I'm going to get flagged. I'm going to get dinged. So I guess what I can do is I can play some music that I won't get dinged for. All right, so I'm going to play in the background me. Believe it or not. I'll play you the very first song that our band had on radio. I'm dating myself. Sounds a little tinny. Whatever. Fast and furious, that's the way it should. It's someone else's team. You walked up and harder, that broke the fall. You walking, crashing, the weight of it all. Now, I look hardly. What happened to me? What happened to me? Think out loud. What's happened to me? You embarrassed to know me yet? Roses red. We didn't forget what you said. Roses red. Roses red. The reason why rescues random is there something more important? Let's then find the one. No, don't change the rules. We're heading straight for danger, and I mean you. Life is not a test drive. You gotta enjoy it the first time too, okay? Love is blind, I'll get you out of my head. Sorry, I like the song still. Here you go, it's a big part, ready? God, that sounds tinny, doesn't it? I know, it has no point, you're right. I'm just hanging out, dude. You say you were serious, don't you wish you could? You fear it in the corner. We treat it like a fashion. We felt it all. So what am I doing? If you're wondering what I'm doing, you are hanging out with Danger Man on a Friday night because, well, let's see. Well, I did have a girlfriend for 7 years who became my fiance. She's gone now. She died. As the days and nights going by, I sail the wider seas. And all the winds of change could never beat the best of me. I love that white sea. Till I got the shoulder of eternity. To a light sky and you will never so once you find a shoreline, it won't be long. It won't be long because our hearts will meet. I'll never be late for a chance that will come again. We'll cringe at the thought that we'll never know. But feeling like faith is a wide and that's fun. That's how paintball feels good. I like it. To be that drummer, that was the first time he sat in with our band in that practice. He's a road musician. Just came in and bang like that. You never beat the best of me. Searching for eternity, eternity. It's got to be. Seriously, you should do it once in your lifetime. Sing in a band. The energy you get from being on stage just that one time will carry your lifetime. I'm not kidding, actually. All right, so I'll play you actually. Hear that? That's a dance song, and at the time, I was a devout Christian, so I wrote this song called "Change of Mind," and all the guys in the band had no idea it was about God. So the lyrics were change of mind, mental consent, new position, not one that's bent. Change of mind is new to you. Change of mind parallel with you. Inside brought outside, inside it's you. With a change of mind, with clean new eyes, once opposition true. With the change of mind, your mind what unwillingly releases clues. I mean, can you actually think that this was a song about God? I'll play just a piece of it so you can appreciate just how much fun it was to put something over on them. All right, here you go. I want to play the live version. It doesn't sound tinny and crappy like this. Hang on. I got video for you. I'm dating myself. You don't like this. I don't know how you can handle this, man. It's so tinny. You know what it's like? It's like for you guys that are old enough. It's like when you were back in high school and you want to play your favorite song over the phone to this girl, and like she couldn't hear it for shit. And you're like loving this song. You're like, isn't it great? And she's like, what the fuck? Tell me I'm not right. Oh God. All right, hang on. I'm gonna make this worth your while. By the way, see that logo there? That used to be my logo, and this is a bad rendition of it, but it was called the Seek No Solace logo. And it was, what happened was I was with this girl for a few years, and she was like my best friend, and we were so happy together, all that kind of story, you know. And we broke up so many times, got back together so many times that I finally just was like, I'm over it. And so everybody I met for like the next 8 years, I mean, it was a long time for me. And it wasn't like I was heartbroken over the girl. It wasn't like that at all. No, it was like I was impenetrable. So I thought to myself, you know what? I don't wear my heart on my sleeve anymore. So as a musician, I literally put my heart on the sleeve and painted a circle around it, meaning I literally don't wear my heart on my sleeve. So I took the figurative and I made it literal, which I thought was kind of funny. And then the band became hard to get, and we adopted the logo as the Seek No Solace logo. We were a philosophical pop band. Can you believe that shit? God, I'm sorry for wasting your time. Hang on. But I don't know. Maybe I am entertaining. I don't know. I should look at my PC. You guys are probably sending me notes, and I'm being really inconsiderate, right? All right, here we go. So there is. Oh, it is live. There it is. Okay, these are live. Wow, I'm really not sure I want to show you this. All right, what the fuck, you know? It's not like it's going to be on the internet or something. Can you see it? Look at this. Can you believe this shit? So this is the cool thing about this video. I'll give you a little backstory. So where the stop twisting. Too much music. Okay, so little backstory. So my hero, who is on my friends list now, I've interviewed him, and he's going to do another interview with me this month. Cy Kernan of The Fix. Again, you have to be older like myself to appreciate this shit. And he played in this place like a week before we did, or maybe we played a week before him. Whatever it was, I remember like the little radio station said he was going to be there, and a buddy of mine was a DJ at a college station, and they played the hell out of us. I mean, they loved our band, and he was like, "I can get you to meet him." I'm like, "Oh, that'd be great." So I give him like this package, this letter. It was just like, and I mean, it was sincere, you know. And I've been meaning to ask him ever since. I should just text him right now. So, well, I actually have people here. Skip it. Put the little man to bed. Yeah, for all I know, there's nobody here, and I'm talking to myself. So I gave it to Cy, and he took it graciously. I even have pictures with him. And then the band played here a couple weeks later, or like I said, it was the same stage, and it was just a weird feeling, like I'm standing on the stage with my hero, and it was cool. It was a nice thought to think that maybe one day I might actually make it as far as him, and we didn't. But it was cool to think about that parallel existed for a short period of time in my life. Next time I do a podcast, I'm going to do a podcast interview with him. I'm going to bring this up. All right, so this song is called "You're In For It Now." I actually like this song. I don't think it's quite so dated. We had two guitarists. This was the cool guys, man. They both did lead. Okay, another story. So we practiced 5 days a week until I lost my voice because the guys in the band kept cranking up over my PA, and I had a nice smooth transition over the top and singing that high note, and I think I lost an octave or something, but because you can hear my voice now, I mean, ever since then. So I got really raspy. I started to lose the voice, and the guys in the band were giving me a really hard time. Like, well, not the guys, it was one guy. I don't know how to say it was. So we, so They told me to go get vocal lessons. I was like, okay, I am complaining. Why not? I mean, I've got a full-time job. What the hell? So I go and get my vocal lessons, and guess what happens? My vocal instructor tells me to tell them to turn down. So it was like, wow, okay, thank you. It was like when I was married, and my ex-wife was she's Russian. She explained everything. Oh my God. Like everything she wanted was great. And in the moment, boom, insanity. Yeah, I could catch her hand in a cookie jar, right? This is how Russians work, Russian women. Stealing the cookie, right? And I go, okay, now I finally caught you. You can't tell me you're not stealing the cookie. And you know what the answer was? Yes, I'm stealing the cookie, and it's your fault I'm doing it. I was like, man, honey, you got to go into politics. There's no way you could ever lose an argument. And she couldn't. This is a person who could never lose an argument. I learned a lot from her. You know, I mean, I remember getting the flu once. I'm just storytelling here. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I remember getting the flu once, and I was married. And you know how we men can get. You know, we want to be pampered. I mean, because if you're going to be there to protect a woman in her life, I mean, that's the whole point of a woman being with a man, because they feel protected. Maybe at one time they felt protected, you know, physically, but in today's world, the only way they can feel protected is financially. And that's not a joke. I mean, that's a form of protection, and women feel that way. In fact, that's why my ex-fiance ended up having an affair recently. She felt as though I couldn't take care of her. All right. So anyway, so with my ex-wife, she said to me, goes, be a man. I'm in bed with the flu. And I'm like, honey, just get me some soup or something. You know, I mean, I'm bad. You know how I was going to get the flu? I mean, maybe you can. Listen, if you don't have anybody, I had the flu 2 weeks ago. I had nobody in my life. I had to go get my own soup, you know? And, but when you are in the confines of a loving relationship, you feel as though you can be that vulnerable, and you let somebody love you. And well, honey, can you take care of me? And the response was, be a man. You can hear the Russian now. Be a man, be a man. And it was like there was venom in her voice. I mean, it was like not fun to hear this. I was like, I married you. This wasn't this. And it was such a belligerent attack after other things that had gone on, that I just thought to myself, and by the way, at the time, I am no shrinking violet. Okay. I'm not. I'm a type A all the way. So, you know, I told her, I said, you know, you're the type of woman, you give an inch and you will take 4 miles. So I'm going to stand up to you for every inch. Otherwise I'll get run over. And very strong woman. She's the type of woman that you want in your corner, but you would hate to have against you. And of course, inevitably I did for a period of time. So tells me to be a man. And I said to myself, and I got up out of bed. I was so pissed. I was like, man, this is not right. All my life I spent trying to find the right woman. You're supposed to be the right person. You're supposed to be kind. So I looked her straight out, and I wagged my finger and all that kind of stuff. And I said, I will never ask for another thing from you again. And I didn't. You know, I didn't. I remember getting sick about a year and a half later, and I made a point of getting up and getting the butler tray and making the soup and putting the flour in the vase for myself and get myself the paper and all that stuff, and going back to bed and sitting there going, I know she knows what I'm doing. You know, I don't want to sound like an elephant, but I never forget. Never. I never forget when you cross me. So, so with that, I was prepared mentally, you know, when I went through the divorce later, but where was I heading? God, man, did I chase a rabbit or what? Gosh, you're in for now. Lyrics. I don't know. Why don't I just go back to the song, see what the hell happened? All right, so let me tell you a little bit about You're In For It Now. So You're In For It Now is a song about somebody who's tempted fate one too many times. I'm a man who does not believe in destiny. I don't. Now, destiny is when people tell you that everything happens for a reason, Lars. You didn't get that job for a reason. She cheated on you for a reason. You know, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And what happens is that we as human beings, we see something that's happened, and we can see the benefit maybe of that later down the road, and 2020 hindsight. So we're able then to assess the situation and go and see that's why it happened. That's what happened. It happened for a reason. You know, person cheated on you, so you found a better person, and it all happened for a reason. No, garbage. This is why things happen, people. Okay. Last year I had a bad thing happen to me, and when it happened, my response was not to go buy the box of donuts and play video games. My response in the face of adversity was to get up the very next morning, knowing that if I did not take immediate and evasive action to fix the thing that was wrong, I was going to lose a very important person in my life. So I got up at 5 a.m. that next morning, and I ran around the block, which was almost a mile. Then I got my car, drove it to my Y. This is before the sun comes up, by the way. Laced up my skates in the foyer, skated 3 miles around the park across the street from the Y. I went back under the Y, worked out for an hour and a half, went to work. I did this for 30 days straight, doing this. Just keto, whatever. Thank you. So, and I didn't do it intentionally to be keto. I mean, I just like, I know I've always been a low carb person. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna zero out the sugars completely. I want to, to get to where I need to be fast, and I need to do it healthy. So every single day I did that. There was days that I had to get there even earlier because there was rainstorm coming, and I had to get that skate in before the ground got slick. But 30 days straight, lost 28 pounds. And within 35 days, it was 31 pounds. Kind of overshot my goal, and I'm still overshooting my goal. I'm about 5 pounds underweight, and I just can't seem to put the weight on. I got a whole cake over here. I want to show you something. This is funny. Watch this. I don't know what it is. It's gotten so bad that I went and bought a cake. See this? I ate that much cake since last night. Not a pound. Because I weigh myself. Nothing. I know what you're thinking. I wish I were you, Danger Man. No, you don't. My life was cruising along perfect. At least I thought so. Imagine you're with somebody and you treat them like an angel for 7 years. That's your best friend. And then all of a sudden, they're just done. They're just done. And that's what happened to me. And with that, you move on. You do your little dance. You pick up the pieces. Because I've done it before. Not a quitter. I'm a fighter. I won't lie to you. I fought through the tears. Everybody's had to do it. I'm not special. I don't think I'm special. Never did. How about you? It's like, did you have a mother that used to tell you when you were a kid, like, you were born for a reason? Because that's what I got. I got that. I wasn't supposed to have any more kids, and then you came along. And I mean, I kind of thought it could be true, but not like I was special, like I was going to be the president or anything. I just thought, like, that's kind of nice. Yeah, maybe there is a reason. Maybe there'll be something special about my life that I'll be really happy with. But you get to this age, and you lose somebody a couple times, people in your life that you start to blame yourself, and you wonder what's wrong with you. You do. But the strange thing is, and I'm gonna make this really clear. In my last relationship, which was 7, almost 8 years, we didn't fight, we didn't argue. So if there was something wrong with me, if I was the abusive person, or if I was the irritable person, I think that I would have known that along the way. There's no drama in my life. Not me. You know what drama there is in my life? Is when I find out that you've crossed me and you're gone. My nephew, who was living with us in the house, resented me because I'm that kind of person, so tough. And my my son would go up and visit him up in his room, my oldest son, and he started getting him drugs, despite me. And Declan's since cleaned himself up, but I never forgave my nephew. I just shut him out from there. That was it. It was done. There was no forgiveness. There was no second chances. There was no redeeming yourself. That's it. And it's been that way with so many people in my life. When my ex-wife, I was trying to fight to save it, and I was pining for her 4 months after the divorce, pining. And then these two guys where she worked at JP Morgan were apparently in a love triangle. And listen, I'm storytelling here. I am not a miserable F, okay? I'm storytelling. I think this is just like we found a theme here and I'm running with it, okay? So the thing is I was pining and I was at home working, and these two guys apparently, and I didn't know, I didn't care either. I mean, I'm not an insecure guy. Am I supposed to like chase, follow a woman around? Again, these are the things I'm talking about. Like, how am I a bad guy that I should be keeping a woman in my life when I'm not insecure? I don't ignore them. Oh my God, this is like there's something. What is my breath? What the hell is wrong? Oh, and then I'm told I'm a good looking. I don't know if I'm good looking. I can tell you this much: I'm not young anymore. Yeah. All right. So with that, these two guys are going at it, and they're trying to get each other apparently in trouble at work for all I know. And one day, and again, the divorce is done. Now the only thing I'm dealing with is child custody. I'm in the house myself with the kids. She's out. I'm in a good position. I think I told you about the PFA thing earlier. If you've been listening that long, and I flipped that. I'm happy. The truth came out. I'm vindicated. There's no. I'm going to visit that one more time. Let me visit that one. When somebody accuses you falsely in life, and you know it's true, and even your friends should know it's true, right? In this case, let's just go back. Let's just say it was a woman. A woman accused me of the sexual abuse, the physical abuse, the financial abuse, the what are all those forms of abuse I was telling you that weren't true. The thing is that your friends, you look at your friends, you go, are they looking at me thinking, could he have done those things? That sucks. When you know you're an innocent person and somebody accuses you of something like that, and you've got that specter hanging over your head. When that PFA was in place, and this is like 12 years ago, it bothers you. It really bothers you because you think to yourself, I'm not that person. Yet if you repeat a lie enough, it becomes true. And I remember our social studies teacher way long time ago used to say something about Hitler. The big lie. You tell it. If you want people to really believe it, you make the lie even bigger. That's the only way somebody. So anyway, I know I'm chasing rabbits here, but I'm having fun. So what happened is I flipped that PFA and I got the house and I'm happy in there and everything's smoothly going along. My life was good. And these guys are trying to get each other in trouble at work. Because now she's, now she's the one that's in the hot seat. I guess they figured she was vulnerable, and I guess they were both thinking, well, if I can't have her, you can't either. What? I don't know. They left this package in my driveway. Pictures of her. All their kinds of weird details. I mean, it was this thick. And again, I'm pining for her. Okay, I'm missing the fact that I had two kids that wanted them to have a full-time mom. I wanted a full-time parent. I didn't want the parents to be. I guess I was just too principled, thinking to myself, I could suffer through a bad marriage for the sake of two boys growing up, without having to go to these exchanges. Right? Because I'd gone through that with my oldest son, Declan. Declan had a different mom, and I won that case too. So I didn't want to go through it a second time. I just did not. Oh my God. I mean, no one could ever not accuse me of willing to make a sacrifice for the sake of good, And here we go again. I'm not trying to be a martyr here, but I'm just sick and tired of being the good guy and coming in dead effing last. So I opened that package up, and that was the moment that I felt nothing again for her. Nothing. I have never since that day felt any emotional attachment to her whatsoever. Yeah, none. Completely and utterly free of the love that I felt a good, genuine, kind, affection for this person. And the strangest thing is, like, she did horrible things, and yet I still felt affection. Now, all right, there you go. There's what's wrong with me. So with that, am I boring you guys yet at all? I probably am. There's nobody here. I think I'm talking to one person. That's that. Anyway, so I mean, I don't consider this a catharsis, that's for sure. But I am thoughtful as I'm saying these things. I'm like, what do you want to say? What do you want the world to know? Just enough to be entertaining and have fun. All right, so the point of all this was that, I've always been one of the toughest son of a bitches I've ever known. So how would you define yourself? Do you have a way of defining yourself? Because I do. I got it down to 2 words. And there's a few people who know these 2 words. In fact, if they were ever watch this, they'd go, God, you're going to say it. Yeah, I'm going to say it. I consider myself a rugged intellectual. If you had to define Lars Hensley as DangerMan, as Lars Hensley, a rugged intellectual, which means life could give me a punch in the face over and over, and it has. And I have always come right back without hesitation. But this last time, I think my age has caught up with me. And it shook me to the core that I was not strong enough. Ugh. Embarrassed myself, humiliated myself, hate myself for not being strong enough to just say, somebody did you wrong. They are not a good person. Move on. Nope, not me. I wanted to save my marriage. I wanted to save my future. I mean, isn't it worth it when you're with somebody for 7 years, night and day, every single day, all day long, with nothing but affection and kindness, doing things for each other, talking to each other, supporting each other, sharing each other's thoughts about every little thing, the little commonalities and the trivia, to the more serious things when somebody loses their job and you've got to support them and put gas in their car or whatever else. I mean, just all the small and the large, all of those things, you're there for somebody. And you think that that's got value, and it turns out it's got none. 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 So you tell me, was it not right to question my own, I don't know, at this point, self-respect, but so in my lifetime, I've always believed that we make our own future. We make our fate. We live by our own hands. And by our own hands is our future. Now, so I write this song called Force Fate. Yeah, I was going somewhere with all this, wasn't I? So if we go to, just for laughs and giggles here, we go to hensley.us. It's a personal ball. Go to my lyrics. Don't go to my resume. It's only worth a damn on LinkedIn. I really, it's the one place I forgot to update. It was on the, all right, so anyway. There's Seek No Solace. But we'll get to that. Wide Eternity. Force Fate. Here we go. So here's the lyrics, okay? You epitomize why I should try. The main thing is you want me. I keep praying this dream comes true. I keep forcing my fate with you. And drawing near, you're selecting. This heart's bound for you. I can't slow up. My heart might realize the boundary we both knew. I'll keep praying this dream comes true. I'll keep forcing my fate with you. So this was at a time when my brother took his life. And I thought to myself, which is it? Which is it in life? Can I believe that God could help me and find my future and deliver to me the things that I need? Or should I believe in my own hands? Only the wind knows. There's nothing you can do. Destiny is a friend to it. Soft or sullen or as harsh as it may be, it will leave you in the night awake. It will leave you in the night awake. It will leave you in the night with forced fate. Now, before you think I'm getting way too deep, I'll explain it to you in a nutshell. It's really easy. You cannot make a woman love you, but you sure as hell can put yourself in her path to find you. And to that degree, you can force fate. That's just one example. That is forced fate. You cannot believe that destiny is set for you. You have to believe in this lifetime that you can change your future because of your decisions and what you believe in your mind and your hands. And what's really strange about that, what really pisses me off about life, and right now I'm being a little bitter. I'm not going to lie. Right now, and this, like, I think the last 30 seconds, I'm feeling a little bitter. It's because I have done everything right, and each time I've had somebody take advantage of a good man. And so somewhere along the line, I became Humphrey Bogart from Casablanca, telling myself and the world, I'm not fighting for anything anymore. I'm the only cause I'm interested in. And so that I could get along and play nice with others. I don't say that anymore. I don't use the "don't wear my heart on my sleeve" logo anymore, the "Seek No Solace," because people think it's hokey. Oh, hell, this might be hokey, but I'm an artist. I'm a creative, okay? And so I've backed it down. And what I deliver now to people is a more zen, okay? Helping you figure me out here. Look, there you go. See the infinity logo there? Come on, Facebook, play nice. Give me my homepage. Oh man, we're on the air. So there you go. Love in this direction, life in this direction. You're making choices. And so what does this mean? So it gets to be fun again. And I even actually add this in the paintball video. You're going to see it tomorrow when I deliver this paintball video to you, the world premiere on Saturday. I believe in being nice until it's time not to be nice. And now I'm that guy. So what does that mean? What is it's time to be nice until it's time not to be nice? It means be nice, but don't be naive. And for me, those days are over. You know, I guess you could say through counseling, I've been warned that for me, my future is a future of never believing or having abandonment syndrome or something like that. I'm like, man, I do not want that as a future. But I could see that. I could see that as haunting me. Yeah, you just get to a point where you're just like, and your insulation from something like that is not even try. Give me 10 grand and I'll go pay for sex. I won't need a woman. It's not true, but in theory, it sounds great. It's kind of like when people talk about open relationships. It sounds great in theory. I don't know. Maybe in today's world it is. Maybe there's enough. There's a lack of emotional connection in the younger generations. There's enough of that coming up behind every generation that maybe that's where we're at. In Airplane City, that's the way it is. I've written a future where people essentially they marry for convenience of name and what people can do for them. And if they want sex, there are sex parlors on every corner. Well, not every corner, but you get the general idea. But nobody questions anybody for it. But then there are those in society in this future that I've written in Airplane City that do believe in love, and they, you know, they're an anomaly. And to those people, the main character of my story, Dalton Vreese, who meets the love of his life in the Sad Cafe, her name is Irby Astley. Yeah, a lot of alliteration there. I get it. No, she's not a superhero. But she's, you know, a strong, independent woman without being a feminist. Or maybe she is, you know, I just don't want to call her that. But whatever it is, the point is she's a force of her own that he respects, and he falls in love with at first sight in the Sad Cafe. She turns around, answering a question to him, unbeknownst. and he's asking a stranger, and because he's wandered into this place, this really cool 2-story cafe with a beautiful esplanade, and it's really cool. And he just asks her, he says, "Why do they call this the Sad Cafe?" And she turns around and she says to him, "In my mind, it's where two lovers meet for the first time or the last time. Take your pick." And he says, what do you think he says? He says, "I pick both, because that's what would happen to me." The place that I had my first date with my ex-fiance was the place where we parted for the last time, and I never saw her again. She didn't realize why I asked to meet there, but that's why. Am I a dumbass or what? Being a little too much of a softie for a guy named DangerMan, right? That's fine. Talk shit on me. Get me on the paintball field. I'll brawl with you. But see, to me, okay, let's talk paintball for a while. So for me, paintball is about mentally abusing your opponent so that you can physically abuse your opponent with paintball. So the guys who created the sport, Gaines and all these guys that had their walks and their talks, man, to be a fly on the wall, right? They question, is the game of paintball a game of tactics, or is it a game of skill by shooting? Now, of course, all these years later, we know what it is. It's a combination of the two. And I'm here to tell you, it is sometimes really hard to tell which one has more value over the other to give you that edge over a competitor. Because tactically, I'm a thinking man's guy. I mean, the videos speak for themselves. If you watch any video of me playing, I've got a chart that I'm just going down of all the things that are going to keep me safe. They're going to give me an advantage over the next player, that are going to allow me to get into their person's mind, to allow me to think what their next move is and what they're thinking about and why they need to do, how I can force them to do what I want them to do in order to play my game. I mean, all of these things. I relish it. When I go to a scenario game, I find that I am walking along doing my own thing, and I'm asking myself, man, there should be 19 guys flagging me right now. There really should. But the problem is, so many people in paintball, they're all motorcycle drivers. They all want to do their own. They all want to be the king, and that's fine. So that's the other thing that goes down my checklist, and that is I use my teammates, but I don't rely on them. It's kind of sad, ain't it? So I think at some point I will create another paintball team. And if you're going to be on my paintball team, there will be one alpha dog. And if you get out of line, I will take that stick and I will bang it over your head and flick it to the sky in Kubrickian glee. Because there's nobody with the stink eye that's going to give it to the rest of the herd. Not in my not my clan. So I think that will be the future of a DangerMan paintball team at some point. But I still think the way to handle life is to hold the iron fist in the velvet glove. You be nice until it's time not to be nice. Don't be naive. And believe it or not, I promised myself after my last divorce, that I would never compromise for the sake of a woman. That I would live my life on my terms, and if somebody's going to love me, it'll be on my terms. Get back to the woman thing just one more time, then we'll go back to people, because I don't want to sound like I'm a fucking bleeding heart. I'm not. Yeah, I think I will move on. Let's just move on, right? So as it comes to fruition here with this, or in our circle of discussion on this video, You're In For It Now is about a guy who has tempted fate one too many times, and now he's caught within a bigger world in which he cannot control. I mean, there comes a point where you get in relationships are in spirals. Relationships, friendships among men and women, love affairs, whatever, relationships go in spirals. They spiral in a positive direction or they spiral in a negative direction, right? Now, if it's spiraling in a negative direction, how do you get it to spiral in a positive direction? Well, it's going this way. There's only one thing you can do so far. There's only one thing you can do. You can't send it this way while it's doing this. You have to stop it first. Only after you stop this negative spiral can it become a positive spiral. So, in my story of You're In For It Now, which is really the story of Dalton Vreese and the novel Airplane City. And it's about essentially somebody playing with fate so many times that they finally get caught up in it and they're no longer in control of their own life, at least to this large degree. It's kind of like, oh God, this would be a horrible example, but it's the only one that like makes itself so deadly obvious. You get into a car accident and you accidentally kill somebody, so they throw you in jail. Right now you're stuck in jail. You made one mistake, now you're in jail because you were found guilty for, I don't know, involuntary manslaughter or something. But your point is you're no longer able to just get up in the morning and say, I'm going to go to work. No. You're going to go to the mess hall and get some food and go out to the courtyard or whatever. So, bad example. I hate that example. Ugh. Give me a better one, would you? But the point is that happens in life. It can happen to us all. We can all push something so far that we're no longer on the path we wanted. For instance, this one's close to home again. Sorry. The ex-fiance who cheated on me. If I was to say that it was my fault, then I would be able to fix it. And then I could then control my fate. But if it's not my fault, I can't fix it. And all I can do is live with the fact that I lost something I loved. It does happen. The old exception to every rule. So if I go here to my wonderful site again, Hensley.us. If I go here, you're in for it now. Fate has lingered and I propose a toast. So what's happening? Essentially, it's an acknowledgement. He's saying, you know what? I tip my hand to you. You got me. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due. It's kind of like, here, let's have some fun. It's kind of like Brian Nightmare from out in, I think he's out in Vancouver now, making his videos. He said he started off my videos and now he's far eclipsed me. And I'm happy for him. So what has he done? He's taken everything that he saw from me and leveraged it, taken it to the next level. He did things that I was doing. He did things that I wanted to do. He did things that he had the time and the effort for, and certainly the passion. I'm going to tell you a story I was telling somebody earlier today. So Brian's telling me how he was doing these epic, commentary videos on these epic fails and things, and I think those were big, I think those were a big push for him and have done well for him. And by the way, I'm not condemning this. I wanted to do things like this, but I didn't because I wanted to stay with the how-to videos, and I wanted to create videos that would have a lifetime of use, that wouldn't be here today, gone tomorrow. And we call those evergreen videos in the YouTube world as opposed to viral. Now, I think he's done that. I think he's got a ton of good stuff there. It's worth watching over and over again. But I wanted to, that was my angle. I mean, because it was my sincere passion. So for Brian to do that, I saw that happening. I didn't know who he was years ago when I saw those things happening. I was like, that's cool. Somebody's doing it. It's not going to be me. So years ago, I was the vice president of marketing for a company called The Magnetic Page. It was an ISP in Delaware. And I'm dating myself because I've been doing that all night. And it was when we had a lot of big business accounts who were trying to take advantage of the internet and black hat ways. And back then, it was spam. There were spammers out there. They just, they would get lists or whatever they were doing, but they would crush the world with email, hoping that small percentage would take root and they would get something out. And the guy's name was Lou Honig. Sorry, Lou, that I mentioned your name, but let's face it, you made out for yourself. You're the one that's gonna look good in this story, not me. So he was a young kid, a Jewish kid that had a lot of energy. And he would come into the office with fruit that he got from the waterfront. He had apparently had investors who were I don't know if they were captains of ships or ran the shipyard or whatever, but they got all the fruit off the banana boats as they come into the port of Wilmington. And he just had nothing but support from them and money, I think. And they believed in him as they should have. And he would come into the office giving us fruit, trying to buy our favor. And I was designated the bad cop. I had to be the one who had to keep cutting this guy's knees. And, and in doing so, I was the bad cop. I was easy to hate. I was the dick. I didn't take any. And if you look at me, like I said, unless you cross me, I'm a nice guy. When you cross me, oh boy, you do not want to taste of that guy ever. So, So Lou comes in with the fruits. I'm shutting him down, and eventually I leave there. Oh gosh, I keep chasing these rabbits, telling these stories. When I was the vice president of marketing at Magnetic Page, they made me a promise that if I helped them grow the company to X size, they would give me a piece of the company, and I did. Took them from $100,000 a year in 1 year to $1 million a year by building a bifurcated dealer network. If you go on LinkedIn and you look at my profile, you'll see the story. Even have scans of my business card. So I did what I said I was going to do. And their way of getting around that was to fire me. They tricked me into signing a non-compete, and I was in court for 3 years until their attorney died and my attorney. I'm telling you, this is my life. I should be pissed off, I'm not. Just keep going. Anyway, so their attorney died, my attorney died, and I finally had to write the courts after 3 years of these people suing me. To drop the case, and they did. But I remember, and I was newlywed at the time. When they fired me, I was like, okay. Well, I went to a company called Fastnet. I'm going to get back to the other story, I promise. The Lou Honig story. It's where we're heading somewhere. So, I have this great idea that I'm going to work for, a company just far enough that they should not care. It was a company called Fastnet. They offered me, and this is a long time ago, $72,000 a year, and this is many years ago. So back then it was probably, in today's dollars, about 95, almost close to 100 grand. And I'd earned it. I'd earned every bit of the opportunity to have that job. And I remember sitting across from the CLO. He comes in after everybody else has interviewed me for the onboarding. They didn't call it onboarding back then. I don't know what they called it, but he has a contract. He has a contract right there between us, right? So I'm there. He's here. You see it? Trying to give you a nice visual here. A little prop. Whatever. Okay. So he says, Mr. Hensley, are there any legal entanglements that would encumber you from fulfilling your job with Fastnet? And I said, because I'm a dumbass. I said, I don't know if I would call it a legal entanglement. What I do, I am fighting a fraudulent non-compete back in Delaware. I was taken to dinner and asked to sign a non-compete in consideration for a percentage of the company that was promised to me. And I was told that couldn't be done at the time. And by the way, that did happen. I went to dinner, and Ted's like, now's just not the time, Lars. Ted, I know you're out there more. You could wrap yourself around a telephone pole, and you're one of the few people in the world that I would be glad that it happened, because you just derailed my life with that crap about. So I say that, and he goes, I'm sorry, but we must rescind this offer. I mean, he says that we must rescind this offer, and the contract, and my $72,000 year comes because pull back. It's like, man, why didn't I lie? So that happened, and I went back to my wife at the time, and no, I didn't cry or anything like that. I was like, God, man, these people. I'm like, Ted held my son in his arms. He called me his friend. They kept all my stuff. I put so much of my stuff in their office while they were growing, and they fired me in a parking lot on the way to an event that I put together for them with a radio station called WJBR in Delaware. They ambushed me in the parking lot, kept all my furniture. I mean, they kept stuff. I mean, it was just rude, but mean. From what I understand, they got the golden parachute. They sold the company, that kind of crap. They bought a bunch of money. But for me, I had to end up going to work for a small ISP in Delaware at the time, who was so hungry and they were so daring that, there's always those organizations who are like, we just don't care. We'll fight anybody. Pissing vinegar, that kind of stuff. And if you look at me, I consider myself to be a man that has some dignity and class. And this was, oh God, there's going to be people there that if I say this, they're going to remember me from this. It was a redneck organization. And, I come in and they took on the magnetic pH in court. They allowed them to do their saber rattling, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. Just stayed in court. I had to fight it. Had my court dates, all that kind of crap. They deposed me 5 times. 5 times. I mean, they really tried to break me financially. Anyway, so I'm the newlywed, all that stuff. Get the job done it. It's called Delanet. Gave them a new logo, rebuilt their website, had a couple of friends of mine in the business help me with things, and man, I just took off. Brought my client, the WJBR, the radio station, with me. They just liked me. They thought I was a good person. Just, what? I'm making all these complaints like, oh, my life is terrible. Yeah, I've had adversity, but like I said, I come back, I fight, I don't quit. So with that, inevitably, I left Delanet because they tricked me as well. They did. They promised me one salary, and I found out that they were ripping me off because one of the women who was dating one of the owners was pissed off at him and came and told me the truth, how they were actually giving me less than what I was supposed to get and taking it out of my tax. They were paying me the taxed amount without taking the taxes out. So they were shorting me, but I had a contract. So I got a lawyer and I got my money, but the lawyer got a solid third of that money when I got the payout. So it wasn't, and I had to quit the job to get it, so it wasn't like it was a big. So I ended up starting my own company, ran it for 7 years, called Spy Productions. That's where we're headed with the Lou Honig story. Here you go, Lou. Here you go, Lou. You get to be a prick to me again. Man, my life would have been different. It was a crossroads day for me. So Spy Productions is a small company, and I was taking off. I eventually peaked at 10,000 customers. So it's not like I was nothing. But here's the problem. My 3 profit centers were annual revenue at domain name registrations. And this is back at a nascent time, when ICANN was like, dealing with WIPO and trying to find their way with intellectual property laws as they applied. And they got their act together. And I was, I've been a part of that world for a long time. I love it. So I send out a spam. I mean, a big one. And guess, like within, you see this coming, dude. Within 30 minutes of that thing going out, I get an email back from Lou Honig. One of those things. And he just shamed me. Yes, Lou, you shamed me. You shamed me into never doing it again, and I should have just done it. I should have just kept doing it like you did. Because in case anyone doesn't know, I mean, Lou ended up going on with a company called hosting.com and sold it. Got his golden parachute. Apparently, I've heard that he drives around Delaware in his Lamborghini or whatever. I don't know. And and at the time when things are going bad for you, and you look at the Lou Hunnings of the world and Ted Lucases of the world and the people out there who take advantage of other people so that they can get ahead, and you just get really bitter. You get really bitter because you think, why did I do things right? Somebody else, they broke the. Did he break any laws? No, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But ethically, it was wrong. And here it is. I tried to be the good guy, walking the straight and narrow, and do everything with the white hat, and it's just getting pretty irritating. That you do nice to people, and that you end up with the short end of the stick. And those are the moments that make you pensive. But they certainly don't take away your will to live, and they certainly don't take away your will to succeed, and they certainly don't take away your will to try again. And but they ding you. They ding you. My point is, I'm showing you a human moment here, which you're probably laughing at. And for me, I feel like after my last bout with being jerked over, after being like truly a good person for 7 years with somebody, that I'm that guy now. I'm that guy. I'm that guy that when you get in my way, I'm running you over. I ain't got much life left to live. I'm not 20 anymore. It is time for you to get out of the way. So with that, for the past few years, I have been living with this brand, not making the money that I deserve, not being compensated to the level in which I should be for the benefit of others. And those days are over. If you see me somewhere now, it's because I'm getting paid. If something's going on, I'm getting paid. I'm getting compensated. That's the way it's going to be. Or I'll take my ball back and go home with a big old smile on my face. And it's in keeping with the tactical rationale that when I'm playing paintball, it's how I handle life. I'm not going to get emotional, because you can only beat me if I get emotional. And I'm never going to do that. Oh, sure, you can piss me off. You know who you are out there. But revenge is for suckers. It's a sucker's game. I may believe in justice, but I don't believe in revenge. But I do believe at this point, I'm going to have a good life and let others live in regret for not being around me. Because as many crappy negative things as I got to talk about in this conversation, I have found a hell of a lot of positives that have happened to me. Countless people in paintball have reached out to be decent to me and show humanity. Everything that I assumed would be true, that paintball is not just a bunch of rednecks running around in the woods shooting paintball guns. Oh, sure, there's those people, whatever. But there's a cross section of everybody: doctors, lawyers, mothers, daughters, small store owners, clerks. The saying that I have about paintballs: no one can outrun a paintball. Tall, short, skinny, fat, young, old, male, female. No one can outrun a paintball. This game is for everybody. And for me, woods is the great equalizer. When you live a life around a sport that requires so much tactical play, you wonder why it comes easy to me to play this game so well. you know, there's always these comical 15-year-old kids who want to give me a hard time about how I hold a gun sometimes and things like that. Oh my God, I love those arguments. I live for them. I live for them, and I'll tell you why. While you're getting emotionally wound up, it's reeling you. What I'm doing is I'm utilizing you for the old saying, you know, love me or hate me, just spell my name right. Give me the attention. And I've had at least one come back to me over the years and go, yo, Danger Man, I'm sorry. I had no idea how wrong I was about you. I was so wound up over nothing. Because, I mean, I've got some clowns out there who, you know, 15, 16, really, really wanted me to be dead. Man, that's weird. What did I ever do to you? So I'm not going to get emotional about it. I'm going to have my argument. I'm going to play my tactical game of paintball, allowing you to be emotional, allowing the other players to get rattled or be manipulated. Because when you're behind a bunker and I'm behind a bunker and we're shooting each other, my checklist goes down, and I'm gonna come to the quick conclusion that, unlike a tournament game of speedball where I can have a snapshot battle and one of us is gonna win, no, I have my paint's gotta last me a while out there. Sure, I can snapshot with you for 20 minutes and finally get you. Okay. Or I could be a hell of a lot smarter than that. I can get you to move. You know, I can pull a false retreat even. I can move initially. And yes, if I can buy time to make my move, I make my move. I find a better angle on you. When I say you, I don't mean every single paintballer who's ever got the chance of watching this, because you can, yeah, rest assured, when this baby's done, I'm deleting this. This is not going to live on forever. But if it did, and you watch this and you wanted to be smug and you want to be like, oh man, Danger Man, you think you're shit than a snake. You think you're better than me. I'm gonna put you in your place. You probably can. Okay, so you shot me with a paintball. What do you think I care? Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come over and shake your hand. You earned it. Because we're all on the same team. Yeah, this is our sport. Yeah. If you wanna shit on it by being rude to other people who are trying to lift it up, then that's your business. Yeah. You can be smug, you can be an elitist. I only carry a 68 tank because that's the only way to nest it on my shoulder. I remember I used to get grief sometimes for shooting videos on a closed set with my mask off and the barrel open. No paint, no gas, but it's a closed set. So I will shoot some videos where I'm actually by myself. I'm the only person there in the woods. So my mask is off, my gun, and somebody sees that, and I know, I want to say names on this one, but I'm not. I'm really not going to say names on this one because when it comes to the paintball community, it's a little too close to home. But there was a field owner these guys used to complain about to me all the time to try to ruin my good name because they were jealous of the fact that I wasn't paying for paint at this field. You know, they just did not sit well with that. How dare he come in and, you know, the owner make this deal with him because he's a YouTube personality. And so their goal was the Whisper campaign, and it took me years to find out who they were. And in doing so, I don't know. I'm not even sure I want to go down this road. I mean, it's just like I don't hate people. I don't. And when I say that, I mean even the person who cheated on me. I want that person to have a happy life. If it's not with me, I want them to be happy. I'll never be with them, but why would I want somebody to be unhappy? Yeah. If you care for somebody, you really love somebody, then I believe then you need to honor what you believe by actually showing love, not just talking. Yeah. Anyway. I hope you guys had a good time tonight because this is my Friday night. This is my Friday night for the past 6 months, 5 months. My Friday night is working, just working. just working. I don't even give myself permission to watch TV if I don't get everything I need to get done. Period. Good news is I only get about 4 hours of sleep at night for the past 5 months. So I get a lot done, and I do get to watch some TV. What time is it now? It's 11:17 at night on the East Coast. I'm obviously going to read these things later. I apologize for not I'm on the air for an hour and 10 minutes. Woo-hoo. I don't know. I think we're done. I guess I should at least let you hear the music because you're not. You're in for it now. Faith has lingered, and I propose a toast. Destiny has been commissioned to find you, and you're in for it now. Fate will have you somehow stumble into the arms of change. Toss and turn you around now, and you're in for it now. So there's a couple of verses here I love. It's the key to your fate if you can brave it. It's the pain of your past if you can take it. You've crossed the line incommunicado up to your shirt tie, lost without bravado. I don't know. Do I get credit for that? How many people can put bravado and incommunicado into a verse? And that was the thing for me in the band. I wanted to give pop music an edge by giving it some class. I wasn't gonna do, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. I just I wanted my words to matter. In fact, that's everything that if you have ever noticed about me. I just want the things that I produce and I leave the world with. My kids, Declan and Dalton. I want to produce something and give something that matters. What's your legacy in life when you're gone? If you're a person like me, at this point. All you have is the things you produce for others in terms of that's your self-respect. When I work for somebody, when I do work for them, I was raised in a time where you under-promise and over-deliver. I'm not gonna go to bed at night feeling guilty that the dollar I earned, I only worked 50 cents. And that's on you. That's your self-respect. If you want to rip off the company and because you're mad at them, then you leave the company. Work for a company you love. I know, easier said than done, right? I get it. But at least look. At least try to get away from the company. Go get a head on her. Go get her. Give yourself. Use your hands. Work to push yourself into that better direction and find something better. I don't know, I'm getting a little slow here on you. I apologize. I'm having a hard time saying goodbye. I want to play the song. I hope it doesn't suck. I hope I'm not embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. Whatever. I'm embarrassed. I don't care. So I'm going to start it over. That's my best friend, Keith. Keith Wright. And that's Fran on guitar. Quite honestly, the best guitarist I've ever had the privilege to listen to. You like that? You'll never see anybody do that again in your life. All right, everybody. I guess we're done. If I can leave you with anything, I hope. You're not supposed to do that. That one day, my book, Aeroplane City, will be published. It will. I believe the mind moves towards what it sees. Your vision quest in life. If you see yourself with somebody who loves you, taking care of you, in a rocking chair one day, side by side with them at old age, being there for each other and knowing that the journey was the reward, if you see that, you will get there. And that is forcing fate. I wish for once that I didn't create an evergreen video, that I created a viral video, because not because it was viral, but because it had so much value to the world that everybody wanted it. And it's probably never going to be me. And I'm at peace with that. I'll take my evergreen videos. But I would like that affirmation once. I would like to get that explosive. Everybody's talking about it. What DangerMan did or Lars did. Because I look at all of the things that I just spoke about, and I say to myself, why can't I be the one who wins for once because I did things right? The truth always comes out in the end. Sometimes it comes out too late. I would hate to make my $1 million on my deathbed. I hate to cash in with like I said, the journey is the reward in life. The journey is the reward. I've maintained that happiness is a choice that we all make. And so with the journey being the reward, I was on that journey with somebody. And it was just taken away, having done nothing wrong. So I look at my life right now and I think, this is what you keep doing, dude. You keep getting like a ball that's going to be a strike and it somehow goes in the gutter. I mean, somebody's messing with you. And I'm the dumbass who refuses to think that it should be done any other way other than, be nice until it's time not to be nice. That's it. And I think with that, we're going to end it tonight. And there better not be one of you out there who thinks that I'm some sort of sad person who's in trouble. I'm not. And even if I was, my brother took his life. He never got to meet my wife. He never got to meet my kids. I don't think I would be missed. But I do know that when people do that, that's dumb. You don't get to live anymore. You don't get to enjoy the ride anymore. You don't. So all you do is you just leave this big giant swath of pain that other people have to live with. And that makes your dumb decision selfish too. Bruce, he was tough. And I know as tough as he was mentally, he did what he did. Knowing that, I realized for myself in life that there had to be an understanding of it. So I spent a lot of time trying to understand suicide and others, helping others, being there for people. I've learned that when somebody even mentions it in passing, you help them. And when he did that, it took me a year. I took a year off of just being in life with people. I remember I was dating at the time. I just stopped dating for like a year. Just, food had no taste. And, if anybody out there does think about something like that because they are saying, you know what, Lars, maybe you're strong enough, or you think you're strong enough. You got yourself fooled into thinking you're strong enough. But I'm not. One of those things. I'm not you, Lars. You're just throwing a lot of bravado at us. Platitudes, blah blah blah. You know what? Bravado and platitudes. You know what they are? They're when you have no substance behind you. And I have come back every single time. And every single time I've come back bigger. So how did I wind up in this position of a relationship? I let my foot off the gas. Okay, one more lesson learned. That'll never happen again. But I'm not even sure if I care to let it happen. I mean, I just don't, back to food has no taste in that particular realm. But I'm enjoying this creative process, and I'm enjoying being alive and being a part of other people's lives and letting them see me fight back. As a distraction until I'm whole again. And with that, I got a lot of friends. I got a lot of great friends. And I think what I'm saying to you now is like, if you've enjoyed all these philosophical talking points, if you've learned anything from this, happiness is a choice. The journey is the reward. Be nice until it's time not to be nice. Don't be naive. Discipline gets you a long way in life. You make a decision, you act on it, you move, and you don't stop. I'll throw my last one at you. I have more than one, but I'll throw this last one at you. If you never quit, you get there. I ain't quitting.